case of domestic violence.
Man and down, we have we have to save our common land. Wait.
Listen, girlfriends.
Umepanga kunimaliza.
Na maudamu.
Ngoja kwanza. Nataka kukuelezea kitu ni
Customer ameridhisha nini?
anataka kokitail.
Surprise me with anything.
No.
Akili sio vyombo vya wageni. Najua saa zingine jisikilizange ukiongea. Niliambiwa aloiba vitu zangu alikuwa ni mtu amevalia surupwenye ya kijani kibichi na viatu vya mwalimu jini. Surupwenye na mwalimu chini tumefanya nini?
Una hakika ni mume wangu bora?
Si karibu amemtaja.
Na alikuwa katika mazingira gani akimtaja?
Wewe kutokusoma kumekukosea sana. Haya, huu puzi umefundishwa na nani?
Ni kuhusu mimba ya Karembo.
Ni nani? Hebu toka nje.
Nipeleke kwa kina Karembo.
Karembo nani?
Utanipeleka ama?
Basi ngoja
Sina muda Nuru. Kama wanipeleka nipeleke. Kama uwezi niambie uwezi.
A very good afternoon to you. Happy New Year to our viewers joining us from across the country and beyond the borders. My name is Kiptum. Time for the Lunchtime News. Now, 4 missing social media users abducted on Christmas Eve have been released to their families by their unknown captors. Billy Mwangi, Peter Muteti, Bernard Kavuli and Ronnie Kiplangat were found alive at various locations. Digital cartoonist Gideon Kibet, known as Kibet Bull, and Steve Ombisi's whereabouts remain unknown. The details of that story will be coming to us in just a little bit. Of course, that is our top story. But we move on to other stories where 3 people have died and several others injured following a road accident involving 2 matatus at the Murang'a Kenol Highway on Monday morning. According to survivors and eyewitnesses, a Murang'a shuttle matatu heading to Nairobi collided head-on with a Nakon's Sacco matatu heading to Murang'a. Those injured were rushed to Murang'a Level 4 Hospital and the 3 bodies were taken to the mortuary in the same facility.
Tulikuwa kwa matatu ya Murang'a Shuttle. The driver was not speeding. Driver wa Murang'a Shuttle hakuwa anakimbia sana, lakini kuna gari ilitoka pande ile pale kwa kona mahali kunaitwa Wajii. Matatu ingine ika approach, ilikuwa speed kubwa sana. Sasa huyu driver yetu akajaribu kumuondokea, bahati mbaya akashindwa. So sikagongana head on.
Mimi nabebea pale 3 gate upande wa kutoka hapo town, nabeba kutoka 3 gate kwenda Kireini hizo barabara. Na hizo barabara zinakuanga na kona zingine sharp, zingine ziko na radi stride. Unapata unatumia lane moja na kuna mwingine amekuja na overspeed kwa hiyo kona na ama kwa hiyo lane moja. Inabidi tu muhepe, either uanguke ama uumie, haiwezi shidania na wewe.
Sasa tungeomba serikali kama hizo magari haina governor iangaliwe mzuri, juu sasa hiyo accident isipatikane tena hivyo.
Now, police in Laikipia County are investigating the brutal murder of an elderly woman in Gatundia town, a crime that has left the community in shock. The deceased, Lucy Wanjiru Ndongo, was killed by unknown assailants in her home while most residents were attending a church service.
Gatundia town in Laikipia County. Residents here are really in shock following the brutal murder of Lucy Wanjiru Ndongo. Officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations are seen processing the crime scene, collecting crucial evidence including a kitchen knife and a panga believed to be the murder weapons. Lucy's mutilated body was discovered by her husband, Wilson Ndungu, who had been grazing livestock and returned home to find bloodstains outside the house.
Nimepigiwa simu kwa hiyo jambo ambalo limetendeka hapa nyumbani kwa wazazi yangu. Mama yangu ameuawa. Nimemkuta kwa amelazwa kwa nyumba, ameangushwa na amekatwa shingo na upanga. Kulikuwa kumejaa damu.
Ni kwanza tulikuwa nasikia ni mwizi alikuwa anakuja na akakata mtu. Sasa wakati tulikuja hapa tukakuta ni mambo imetendeka mbaya sana. Inahuzunisha sisi sana. Kwa sababu ni kitendo ambacho ya kuua na kukata kisho. Hiyo tunaona iko na ushugu mwingi sana kwa jiji hili. Na mimi naona hiyo Mungu tu ndiye atasaidia sisi.
The body of Lucy Wanjiru Ndungu was taken to the Nyahururu County Hospital mortuary as investigations continue. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
And residents of Asa and Kone areas in Garsen constituency, Tana River County, held peaceful protests demanding justice for victims of alleged brutality by Kenya Wildlife Service officers. The residents allege that more than 10 people have been killed by rogue Kenya Wildlife Service officers since 2014, with several others injured and women raped. The latest case is the killing of a 50-year-old herder, Isaac Jarsodelo, who was allegedly shot by suspected KWS officers at his home on December 30th, 2024.
Tumechoka, tumelia kila siku tunatafuta amua, hatuna amani sisi yo game. Hatutaki sisi wageni, hawa hatutaki sisi game, hatutaki jirani yake. Tumechoka, ametufika hapa.
Imepiga na risasi, imekufa hapo hapo, na ilikuwa nataka kuangana kuchukua mili yake, bali wananchi imesaidia akaacha hiyo mili. Bahati mzuri imepatikana, imezikwa yule mtu.
Maafisa wa shirika wanyama pori ni watu wa kulinda wanyama, sio watu wa kuja kudhulumu wananchi. Tunaomba serikali ichukue hatua haraka ipasavyo. Sisi kama vijana leo hii tumekuja hapa kuhakikisha familia ya Isaac Jarsodelo imepata haki.
Basic learning institutions countrywide have begun the first term of the 2025 academic year. Basic Education Principal Secretary, that is Dr. Belio Kipsang, is at the moment touring various schools within the Nairobi Metropolitan, inspecting the state of preparedness to accommodate grade 9 learners.
Now coming to grade 9, which today we had our first day of grade 9. First lesson, first encounter, first contact with the teachers and with the pupils at that particular level. For us to be able to adequately settle our children, when we did an assessment, we realized that we needed 16,000 classrooms to be able to settle our children in grade 9. And when we looked at resources, looked at the way that we were going to do it, we engaged with our members of parliament, the National Assembly. We told them that we wanted to partner in developing classrooms. Together with our other development partners, we as Ministry of Education, we said that we were going to do 11,000 classrooms, and CDF would do for us the remainder of 5,000 classrooms. I would want to say that so far, CDF has done for us 3,000 classrooms, which are ready and available for use. There are still another 2,000 at various levels of development. CDF has a more elaborate way of approvals and going through the processes. The bureaucracies are slightly higher than what we have as Ministry of Education. But notwithstanding, they have already done 3,000 classrooms. We at the Ministry of Education, as of this morning, we have done 10,500 classrooms ready out of the 11,000 that we were to do.
And a section of residents from Kiwanja, Atan, Gambela, Artillery Chumviyere and Kisima villages located on the border of Meru and Isiolo counties have expressed their frustration over alleged harassment by officers from the Kenya Defence Forces. This stems from a protracted land row that has strained the relationship between the military and local civilians over the past decade. Speaking during a crisis meeting, the residents accused KDF soldiers of damaging their property, preventing them from building their new homes, and even burying their loved ones.
Sisi wakaazi wa Epiding tunastuka sana kwa sababu tumekuwa tunatishwa kila wakati. Sisi kama wamama hata usiku hatulali. Tunaamshwa na watoto wetu, tunafurushwa usiku, tunaambiwa tutoke mahali tunakaa.
Sisi kabisa tumeadhirika, nyumba hatujengi na hapa tunasumbuliwa na jeshi. Kaburi ya wababa yako hapa, wamama pia, watoto hapa.
Juzi wamekuja usiku, nyumba ya wiki jana ikafunjwa. Na bado wamebeba, hawa ni wezi. Hiyo sio jeshi. Kwa sababu wanakuja usiku, wanaharibu mali ya wananchi, wanabeba wanaenda naye. Na sisi tulienda kotini na tumeweza kushinda hiyo kesi, na jeshi wameambiwa kwamba watoke na waende mpaka Larsoro. Kwa hivyo tunataka jeshi waende Larsoro.
To Malindi town now, where conservationists in the resort town, which is in Kilifi County, are advocating for sustainable tourism to push for a cleaner and greener town. Under the umbrella of the Progress Welfare Association of Malindi, conservationists want stakeholders to embrace the circular economy to reduce and manage waste and ensure people live in a clean environment. Malindi Green and Blue chairperson Effie Opio says since 2019, they have been cleaning the resort town and sensitizing the community on the importance of segregation and managing waste.
Ile plastiki ile nyeupe ile ikifika kwa bahari, yule kasa ambaye nkobe bahari akikula inafanyika kama vile ilifanyika yule ng'ombe, inakwenda ndani alafu inaharibu matumbo ya huyo mnyama, anakufa.
Don't throw it. Plastic can kill animals. It can hurt children. Glass, you can't see it under all this seaweed. You can stand on it and cut yourself. It's dangerous and that must be stopped. There's bins, regular bins. People should put the rubbish in the bin.
We are trying to mobilize as many plastic producers as possible, the ones who are the commercial producers who are the main contributors to plastic pollution, and we want to bring them on board so that they are able to work with us and we strategize on how this waste can be taken back to the producers or for recycling.
And to our top story now, where 4 missing social media users abducted on Christmas Eve have been released to their families by their unknown captors. Billy Mwangi, Peter Muteti, Bernard Kavuli and Ronnie Kiplangat were found alive at various locations. Digital cartoonist Gideon Kibet, known as Kibet Bull, and Steve Ombisi's whereabouts remain unknown.
Monday morning came as a relief to some of the parents whose children went missing on the eve of Christmas last year after they were abducted by unknown people said to be security apparatus. Those freed are Billy Mwangi, Peter Muteti, Bernard Kavuli and Ronnie Kiplangat. However, only families of Billy Mwangi and Peter Muteti have physically met with their kin. Billy Mwangi was found in Embu County early morning. Peter Muteti, who was abducted in Kikuyu, was found in Nairobi Central Business District and is said to be disoriented and recovering at home. Bernard Kavuli, who was abducted in Ngong, was found in Moisbridge, Kitale, Trans Nzoia County, while Ronnie Kiplangat, who was abducted in Kikuyu, was found in Machakos County. However, his brother cartoonist Gideon Kibet, known as Kibet Bull and famous Fossil Hoet, and Steve Mbisi are yet to be found. The release of the 4 also coming on the day the Inspector General of Police and 8 other respondents were expected to file their responses in court of abduction, with the matter set for hearing on Wednesday, 8th of January 2025. Meanwhile, this as Naivasha Member of Parliament Jean Kihara and her Gilgil counterpart Martha Wangare call for accountability for the ongoing abductions of the Kenyan youth with dissenting voices.
Mheshimiwa Ichung'wa, with no shame, anasema Rigathi ndiye anafanya utekaji nyara. Mzee mwingine sijui ni uzee ama ni nini na msumbua, akasema watu wanajiteka nyara kwa sababu ya siasa. Sasa kijana ajiteke nyara, ajiue na ajitupe kwa mtaro.
Giverson Maina, Lunchtime News.
That is definitely good news for the families of the 4 who have been released. Now we want to take a quick break here on KBC Lunchtime News. When we come back, more news including business and sports. Do stay with us.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture,
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Patel? It's Sanjay. Why does everyone think our names are Patel? My name is Sanjay, period. Sanjay.
I want to marry 3 wives at the same day. They both say at the same time, I do.
Wanaume wacheni umpeya. Just speak it out so that every one of us can get the joke.
You would understand it even if we...
Welcome back. You are watching KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Kiptum and Anne Wangeshe is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Now we want to take you to Mombasa County, where the county government, through its Department of Health, is launching a mass registration exercise for the newly introduced Social Health Authority, which is aimed at providing affordable and accessible health care to residents. Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir, as well as Economic Advisor Moses Kuria, are present. Let's listen into what is going on at that mass registration.
Abdul Swamad wawapenda juzi ulikuwa nao pale kwenye mwaka mpya. Watengeze haya maneno, mikutano, mabaraza, ngao wako hapa. Kwenye hizi media channel radio station zetu, watu waje, mimi mkiniita pia yo msenangu nitatia kidigo. Mdigo atasikia, Mgiriama ataelewa, na yote mijikenda 9 wote wataelewa. Hayo ndiyo maneno ambayo tunataka kufanya katika hii mambo ya SHA. Unajua hii serikali imefanya so many initiative, lakini Moses Kuria mulikuwa hawana wazungumzaji wa kusema haya maneno. Lakini kwa huyu baba Raila Amolo Odinga kufanya donation na kumleta Ali Hassan Joho katika wizara, akamleta Mbandi, tukamleta Upio Wandai, na hivi sasa kuna watatu ambao tutakwenda waveti kesho kutwa. Lakini kwa hao watatu Moses Kuria nakuuliza, kwa wale watatu huyu mama alikuwa mnamsahau wapi? Manake naona pale Mutai Kagwe, naona hapo kuna Lee, naona kuna Kabogo. Kwa huyu mama alemza William Samuel Ruto, akamza Kabogo, akamza Uhuru Kenyatta, Abdul Swamad, mnamsahau wapi? Mbona mwataka kina mama tuseme? Mbona mwataka kina mama tuseme? Because when we are progressing, tunaona tena
Well, that was Mishimboko, who is the parliamentarian representing Likoni constituency there, speaking at the mass registration of the Social Health Authority. Of course, that particular exercise being run by the Ministry of Health, the Health Department of the County Government of Mombasa as well, to ensure that more people are registering to cover them under the Social Health Insurance Fund. We are following up on that story and we shall be bringing you the details in our subsequent bulletins. Now we move to business news and we start across borders, where the first congestion charge scheme for vehicles in the US has come into effect. In New York City, car drivers will pay up to $9 a day, with varying rates for other vehicles. This and more in our international business news roundup.
The system, which has been in operation since midnight Sunday, New York Times, has seen 400 lanes of traffic covered by more than 1,400 cameras, with more than 110 detection points and more than 800 signs. The congestion zones covers an area south of Central Park, taking in such well-known sites as the Empire State Building, Times Square, and the financial district around Wall Street. The scheme aims to ease New York's notorious traffic problems and raise billions for the public transport network. Meanwhile, confidence among UK firms has slumped as they face a pressure cooker of rising costs and taxes, according to the business group British Chambers of Commerce. The group said its survey of more than 4,800 firms suggested confidence had fallen to its lowest level for 2 years. Nearly two-thirds told the BCC they were worried about taxes following the budget, which announced a rise in national insurance contributions paid by firms from April, and more than half expect to rise prices in the next 3 months. The strength of the UK economy has come under focus following the release of disappointing growth figures just before Christmas. Finally, Microsoft is planning to invest about $80 billion in fiscal 2025 on developing data centers to train artificial intelligence models and deploy AI and cloud-based applications, the company said in a blog post on Friday. Investment in AI has surged since OpenAI launched ChatGPT in 2022 as companies across sectors seek to integrate artificial intelligence into their products and services. AI requires enormous computing power, pushing demand for specialized data centers that enable tech companies to link thousands of chips together in clusters. Microsoft has been investing billions to enhance its AI infrastructure and broaden its data center network. Analysts expect Microsoft's fiscal 2025 capital expenditure, including capital leases, to be $84.24 billion, according to Visible Alpha. Winslaus Pamba for Lunchtime News.
Of sports now, La Masia defeated TED Soccer Academy 2-1 in the final of this year's Mnagro Mtaani Soccer Tournament held at Lakisama grounds. The tournament, in its 5th edition, attracted 16 teams.
TED Soccer was unlucky for the second time running after falling by 2-1 to the plucky La Masia Academy. Meanwhile, Starlets narrowly edged out Treehouse by a 1-0 to win the third-place playoff match. A total of 16 teams took part in the tournament held to promote inclusivity in the communities.
What we are doing is trying to just mentor young people. You know, it has been a very long holiday for the young people, and we are trying to bring them back and telling them that they should be very focused with their lives. And this is like a mentorship program for them. We are doing this, it's dubbed gender equality and sports for development.
This year has been more competitive because last year it was under 13. This time we decided that it's going to be at least under 15 for both boys and girls. And in that age, there is so much talent, especially in this Eastland part of Nairobi.
Finnish ambassador to Kenya, Pirka Tapiola, who graced the tournament, praised efforts being done by non-state actors in uplifting talents at the grassroots.
There are a lot of young people. There are a lot of people who fight for opportunities, who fight for scholarships to go forward in life. And I think that through sports, through other things, we can support them fulfill their dreams and maybe get further in life, and that's very, very important.
Now, the Kenya national under-19 cricket team, the Kenya Power Hitters, were crowned champions of the Under-19 T20 Cricket Championship after beating Indian Blasters by 63 runs in the final played last evening in Noida, India. In the thrilling final, the Kenya Power Hitters posted a solid score of 195 runs for 5 in their allocated 20 overs. Kenya then restricted Indian Blasters to 132 runs all out in 17.3 overs, taking the title by an impressive 63 runs. A total of 6 teams took part in the tournament, which began on Monday last week. The other teams in the tournament were Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka Lions, Nepal Everest Eagles, Indian Stars and Barbados Select. Now, Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim says he was really mad to leave Anfield with only 1 point after Manchester United's 2-2 draw at Liverpool, as captain Bruno Fernandes questioned why the team was not able to produce such performances every week. Lisandro Martinez blasted United in front early in the second half before Cody Gakpo's leveller was followed by a Mohamed Salah penalty. Amad Diallo swept home to earn United a point.
Absolutely inevitable. It's another Mohamed Salah moment for Liverpool. And he responds as he always does.
From international football, we now get back to the local scene. And of course, it's January, parents taking their children to school. We want to get an update on what is going on. Our very own Timothy Kipnusu is on that bit. Kipnusu is at Westlands Primary School, ready to give us that update. Kipnusu, take it away.
A very good afternoon to you, Betty Kiptum, the broadcasting house. Yes, indeed, I'm coming to you live from Westlands Primary School. And of course, today being the school reopening day, this is a day where a new baby has been born. Of course, I'm talking about the grade 9. We remember today is the first day of the grade 9, the pioneer cohort of the competence-based curriculum of the grade 9. And we've been able to visit a number of schools together with the education principal, Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang, just to assess the situation, the first encounter, the first lesson, and of course, the students are meeting teachers for the first time with the grade 9 transition. And of course, the PS has assured that they are on top of the game to ensure that the process is seamless without any bottleneck. And of course, he has confirmed that so far the government has constructed 13,500 classrooms. Of course, the government is partnering with a number of stakeholders, including the members of parliament through the Constituency Development Fund, and he has confirmed that the members of parliament have produced 3,000 classrooms. The Ministry of Education has produced 10,500 classrooms, and therefore Kiptum 13,500 classrooms are complete by today. And he said in the next 6 days the government will have constructed 14,000 classrooms. So the situation about the transition of the grade 9 from the principal secretary is similar. He has dismissed critics that the government is not prepared to handle the grade 9 students based on the few classes or a number of challenges. Of course, he has also confirmed that 9.9 textbooks has been dispatched in different parts of the country, and of course to ensure that as the grade 9 begin their first lesson, their first class, things do not, of course the exercise is seamless. He has been able to visit Thika Road Primary School, of course Murema Primary School, and we've been able to get a spot check just to understand how the class, the students are mingling with the teachers and how the situation on the ground is. And talking about the issue of capitation, he say the government also will ensure that money is allocated to schools that have not been able to have enough classrooms. Remember, a number of stakeholders have been raising concern on the classes the students will be using, of course, and the government has said they will ensure that those schools, of course, get their classrooms in time. And of course, the issue about having a number of cases where students do not get enough teachers. You say the government is committed to ensure that teachers are there so that the exercise is seamless. So we'll be visiting a number of schools just to assess the situation, and we'll be able to have a comprehensive report on day 1 of the new baby that has been born, grade 9. From me, Timothy Kipnusu, I hand you back to studio, Betty Kiptum.
Thank you, Timothy Kipnusu, for that report. Of course, he's keeping tabs on the reopening of schools. Basic education, or rather basic learning institutions, have resumed their classes today. And Timothy Kipnusu has been on that tour around Nairobi schools with Principal Secretary Basic Education, who is Belio Kipsang, Dr. Belio Kipsang. And earlier he was telling us about the 13,500 classrooms that have been completed in readiness for the JSS students, adding that another 500 will be completed within the next 6 days. That particular report will be coming to you in detail during our 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. bulletins, so do stand by for that. And that is where we close the lunchtime news this evening. From the entire team that made this possible, we wish you a lovely afternoon. My name is Betty Kiptum, and Anne Wangeshi is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Bye-bye.